Right now, a new alarming case has lawmakers and advocates calling on DCF to better protect children.
Yeah, a new report shows a child within the DCF system took their own life within an hour of the agency visiting their home. Your reporter Taylor Knight live at the Capitol in Hartford to tell us what happened and what lawmakers are now doing to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Well, this report came out the same day that House lawmakers here at the Capitol passed a bill to help improve oversight and transparency within DCF. But this morning, lawmakers are saying even more needs to be done. DCF has faced scrutiny following the death of Jacqueline Torres Garcia and the Waterbury captivity case. And now a new report from the Office of the Child Advocate reveals a Connecticut child died by suicide just 1 hour after meeting with a DCF worker. Investigators say the child's family had a long and complex history with DCF. The child told the worker that they wanted to be put into foster care, but DCF said coming into care was not an option and decided to leave them with the parent. State lawmakers are currently working on a bill that aims to add more oversight on DCF caseworkers. State Senator Jason Perillo on the Committee on Children says this bill needs to pass to keep children out of danger.
Nobody knows the child's environment better than the child. And when a child says they feel unsafe, you've got to take that as gospel, and you've got to work with the child to get the child to a position where they do feel safe.
The bill now heads to the state Senate for approval, but the pressure is on there because this session ends in just a few days. As for DCF, they say that they are committed to working with lawmakers and advocates, and they're calling for more tools and support. Your reporter in Hartford, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Taylor, thank you. And really important here, a reminder, if you or someone you know is in crisis, there is free and confidential support available to you any time of the day or night. All you have to do is call or text 988.